Motivational preacher, and I use that word very intentionally. You have a way of conveying a message with such chills inspiring, goosebump giving power. It's really, really extraordinary to witness, and becomes all that much more powerful knowing that you didn't start there, that wasn't sort of naturally, you know, your beginning.
Repeat after me, please. No matter how bad it is, or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. It's not over until I win. You've got that right. What fears that I'm allowing to imprison me, that's keeping me from breaking out, that's keeping me from living up to my true potential, that's keeping me from really being happy? What's keeping me from controlling my destiny?
Because in order to do something you've never done, you've got to become someone you've never been. And you've got to have a mentor who's experienced, who's been there, done that, because you can't see the picture when you're in the frame.
And ladies and gentlemen, as a result of stretching out, of acting on my dream, and I don't know what that dream is for you, I can tell you that it's possible. No one could have convinced me that after just over 6 years, I would have my own book entitled Live Your Dreams. Just over 6 years, I would have 5 specials on public television. Just over 6 years, I've done motivational speaking for AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, Xerox, IBM. Just over 6 years. I'm saying to you, your dream is possible. Whatever you want to do, March 4th. This is Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy, Leslie Calvin Brown, saying it's been a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. Thank y'all here. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, make me full screen, John Leslie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I hope you all have it ready for your lunchtime. Thank you very much. I'm excited. Can you remove that the banner that's there right now, John Leslie? Somebody's saying, how you doing, Tammy? So glad that you're here with us as well. Very good. And I want all of you that are listening. I got a message for you, and I want you to like this page and share it. I want you to encourage family members and friends and people that have goals and dreams, and people that you work with, because one of the things I'm going to be talking about, the value of the possibility mindset. John, unless you want to ask me something before I get into my message, and then after you ask me, then we'll go full screen up, because that's a handsome smile that you have, but it's very distracting right now.
Yes, sir. All right, you can go right ahead. I know you're.
Yes. Okay. Very good. Thank you very much. No. Hello. About to make me lose my mind up in here. I said yesterday, I saw on the internet, I saw this motivational vignette coming up and had Les Brown, and it wasn't my voice. It was AI. We're living in a time where you literally have to have your your image and your voice protected, because people will steal it and make money with it. And that's been happening to me for a long time. And so I decided, if and this is something that's very important. I remember doing training, and I would ask the audience, if you had 6 months to live, what would you do differently? And the reason that I asked that question, I asked myself that question. And I want to ask you, if you had 6 months to live, what would you do differently? Think about that. And at the time that I asked myself that question, I was a state legislator in Columbus, Ohio. I just got reelected for the 3rd time. And I was there on the floor, and we had a little break, and I'm reading this book about managing your life and your time. And it asked that question. And then so I answered the question. And the answer that I put down was, I would go back to Miami and spend more time with my mother, my adopted mother. And so the next page said, as far as you know, this could be your last day on earth. And I decided to take an early vacation and went down and spent time with Mama. We went fishing on the Tamiami Trail. She loved to go fishing, and she'd catch catfish and brims. And I really enjoyed that time that we spent together. And I started asking myself that on a regular basis. And I want to ask you that. Because the reason I'm doing this now, I don't know how much time I have left. I'm 81. And I think it's important that we embrace the impermanence of life. And I think that one of the things that allowed me to do the things that I have done, and I want you to think about something that you would do if you had your life to look at and say, oh, I only got 6 months to live. Well, guess what? If I knew I had 6 months to live, I'll still do this broadcast. Why, Les? Because this is what I do. This is the calling on my life. I'm on a mission to help people change their lives like someone helped me. That's why I do this. See, I'm saying to you, you want to live your life the way you want to leave your life. For a long time, I was living a life that wasn't me. For a long time, I was working on jobs. They didn't like me. I didn't like them. They paid me just enough to keep me from quitting, and I worked just hard enough to keep from being fired. And most people live like that. On Monday morning, the heart attack rate in the United States alone increased by 35%. People getting ready for jobs that they hate between 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock. The heart attack rate increased by 35%. So I want you to think about some goal that's important to you, something that's major to you. At this stage of my life, my goal is to finish strong. My goal is to train and multiply other voices of hope and inspiration and harmony, and teach people the techniques and strategies that I learned that help me to extract myself from a life of poverty, living in the segregated South, a system stacked against me. And every turn, everywhere I look in the culture, it was designed to destroy my sense of self and my dreams. And now we're in this place right now that there's a very hostile environment in terms of political leadership that's making its personal business to suppress people and to destroy their ability to be able to advance themselves, people from all walks of life. And I'm saying to you that when you think about your goals and dreams, don't focus on what's going on. What's important and how I got here, I focus on where I wanted to go. The reality that I was involved in creating. Don't focus on current reality, because you become depressed and all you can do is talk about it. But you don't want to be in a position of wasting the time that you have left talking about the problems of life. It's called life. Life be life, and thinking not strange that you'll face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will have tribulations. You will go through some tough times. Life is seasonal. Sometimes things go well, sometimes they don't go so well. And so when you look at your life, look at your goals, I want you to focus on something that gives your life a sense of meaning and purpose. That's important. One of the goals I have is to be old enough to see not just my grandchildren, 15 grandchildren, but I got 4 great-grandchildren that I got to play with and entertain them. And they call me Papa, Papa. They call their father Papa, and they call me Papa, Papa. My other grandkids, they call me just Papa, okay? But my great-grandkids call me Papa, Papa. And I'm glad to be here. And the reason I'm saying this and sharing this with you is I want you to think about your goals and dreams. And then the first thing I want you to put down, what's your strategy for being here? Being here is not a given. You have to be deliberate. You have to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort, not to buy into the casualness of life, not to buy into the mindset that we have enough time. People say time is money. No, time is life. And people talk about the second win. I'm in the third win. I'm in the fourth win because my goal and objective was to be able to be independent, to be able to take care of myself. That when I was in my 80s, I would be my own person and not be a burden to my children. So when you think about your strategy for being here, think about that and put some time and energy into that. I have an exercise program. I have a nutritional program. I have a health coach. And so these are things that say, I plan to be here. The choices that I'm making. And I'm saying to you, your health is very important. A person with their health, they have 1,000 dreams. But a person without their health, they have only one. I cannot emphasize this too much. Have only one. And so you have to have a game plan that you have at the top. Your health is your wealth. I see people, they're focusing on chasing the dollar, and it's good to do that. I believe in making money because it gives you choices and be able to have more time for yourself and create experiences with family members and friends. But if you sacrifice your health in the pursuit of money, trust me on this, you won't be able to enjoy it. Now, as you think about your goals and think about your dreams, what is it that you're going to do that will take care of the 35-year-old in you, or the 45, or the 50? I'm focusing on the 90-year-old Les Brown. I got this guy in my vision and the things I need to do to get there and the choices I need to make and having healthy people around me. I don't want people around me that's overweight, that's not eating correctly, that's not positive and motivated, that don't have a sense of purpose. Why, Les? Because environment is powerful. Your environment, if you're not mindful, it will overwhelm your willpower. And so environment is major. And having people around you that's in alignment with your choices, with your behavior, with your mindset, and your values. Now, here's something else. I want you to think about a golden dream that's beyond your comfort zone. What's the value of that? We've been, I would say, groomed and brainwashed to be logical and realistic. No, there's some things that you can do that goes beyond logic. There's some things that you can do that you don't even know now, that eye has not seen. I had no idea that I have the ability to do the things that I'm doing now. You have greatness in you. There's a lot of talent, ability in you, but if you just stay in your comfort zone where potential, where greatness and dreams die, and you're not willing to take a risk to go outside of your comfort zone and to learn something that you don't know. I'm 81. Today, I got a goal and a plan of learning some things in technology. Why? Because I'm still here. This life is for living. Most people spend more time sitting down, looking at television and talking about nothing with people who don't have no goals, have no dreams, have no purpose in life. I got some friends that I like them, but I don't want them around me because they don't bring the best out of me. They don't challenge me. They don't push me. I want people around me that inspire me to grow, to reach higher, to know that it's not over until I win, until they win. The goals and the dreams and the impact and the legacy that we want to build. You have us have a sense of mission, of building an empire, of making a mark. What's your blueprint? Dr. Martin Luther King gives a very profound speech called, "What is your life blueprint?" Most people don't have a life blueprint. They don't have a game plan and an idea and clarity of something that they want to do with their life. It's an author, Russian author, Leo Tolstoy. He says, "As I face inevitable death, what is the meaning and purpose of my life that will not be undone or destroyed when I'm gone?" I was looking for a friend of mine that I used to be in radio with years ago named Nicky Lee in Miami. The Nick with the solid kick. And I heard that he came to Georgia, and he was one of the early mentors I had in radio. And so I wanted to find out, where was he and what was he doing with his life? And I went online and had his name. And on the other side, there was a GoFundMe to bury him. That's become common. And so when you live your life on purpose, when you realize that, one, that we have to take responsibility for the life that we want to have. Two, that you got to be mindful of your environment, because most people go through life, they don't have goals and they don't have dreams. They're working on jobs that they don't like and pray to God that they don't get left off, don't get laid off and replaced by artificial intelligence. They're just trying to survive. It's one thing to survive, it's something else to live. You're made in the likeness image of God. We've been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth. We have to live from dominion. When you see what's going on right now, where immigrants who come here pursuing their dreams being vilified, when you see people who've been working on jobs for years and not because of incompetence or something that they did wrong, they lose their jobs. It's a different place. This is a place of disruptions, and things are happening constantly. Now, let me warn you. You got to come up from among people who don't know what's going on now and who's not living, and as you would say, Jamie, intentionally to overcome and stay ahead of creative destruction. It's a new place. There's a reason that Peter Drucker said, and I love to quote him, we got to be willing to unlearn, learn, and relearn. Because the things that we learn in the past, the things that we learn in school, that indoctrination that prepared you to be an employee, that day is gone. When 40% of Harvard graduates are moving back home because they can't come out here and just find a job. It's not a job market now. It's an entrepreneur's market. It's a market for people who look and say, what is it I need to do next with my talents, abilities, and skills? What is it that I enjoy doing, that I love it so much that I do it for nothing and do it so well that people are paying me to do it? I spoke many times just volunteering to develop the confidence, to test my stories and my quotes and my humor and my energy and my ability to hold the attention of an audience. I turned a deaf ear to those who said, you can't do that. You don't have a college education. Who's going to hire you to teach them how to do something and you don't have years of corporate experience? Have you ever thought about something you wanted to do and people who should have been there to encourage you, people who should have said, go for it, tell you what you can't do? Yeah, because they're people who they are happy with who you are right now. They're happy with being around you. But when you start growing and developing, and you know it's true, there are people that you used to kick it with like me, and you're a different person. We don't do that no more. I mean to tell you, I remember I had a friend named Rudy Walker out of Miami, and we had a group of guys called the Party Boys. And I was so crazy when I was young, okay? And so the Party Boys, about 10 of us had an apartment over on 3rd Avenue, Northwest Miami. And so one night I decided I don't know if they still have this product. They had a product they were advertising on television called Nair. I think that's the name of it, that it removes hair. So Boo and I decided, because these guys used to get drunk all the time. So we decided we would go get some bottles of Nair and put it on their eyebrows, okay? So, and then we would leave. We go home. We would stay in the apartment that night that we had together. And the next morning when they got up to wash their face, their eyebrows came off. They looked like moon people. And they were so drunk they didn't remember me and Boo being there. And when we saw them, said, man, what happened to y'all? I don't know. When my eyebrows came off. You know, when you're young, you do all kind of crazy stuff. Oh my God, they looked like they were from the moon with no eyebrows. And I said, man, who would do such a thing to y'all? Let me know, man. I'm gonna help you get them, okay? We were cracking up inside. Oh, you ever look back on your life and just say, wow, I know I'm here because of God's grace and mercy. I know I'm here because of angels looking out for me. I want you to think about your goals and dreams, and I want you to get serious, because most people aren't serious. They're seriously not serious. In order to make the dream and goal that you have in mind, this goal beyond your comfort zone, you've got to become an assassin. What do you mean by that, Les? You've got to be willing to kill off who you've been, the behaviors, the mindset, and the choices that you've been making in the past that caused you to be where you are right now. And that radical change will allow you to have a breakthrough to get out from where you are right now. You've got to leave the relationships. There are people, there are places and things that no longer fit when you have a goal and a dream and a purpose and a meaningful life that you envision for yourself, for your family, for your children and your children's children. It requires a level of discipline, a level of dedication, and a level of hunger. What do you mean? You're going to get pushback. You're going to have failures. You're going to have people telling you what you can't do. You're going to be rejected. I remember Suzanne DePass, she told me one time, she used to work at Motown, and one of the early discoverers of the Jackson 5, she said, know your vitamin. Yes, you're going to face a lot of no's. I can't tell you how many times I was told no, but I made it my vitamin. I knew that on the other side of that no was a yes. I can't tell you the number of programs and things that I started and they didn't work out, or people said, oh, you can count on me. I got you. And it didn't happen. That's a part of life. But here's the thing. When you have a goal, you know that it's possible. You keep it moving. Keep going. Even when you have no evidence to prove that it makes sense. I like something that Donald Lawrence says, it might not make sense, but it makes faith. There's some things that you envision for yourself. The people around you, it might not make sense, but to you, it makes faith. That you have faith to see what they can't see. You have faith. I'm going to make this happen. I don't know, but I'll figure it out. When my mother, Mamie Brown, said to Dorothy Bell Rucker, I'll take these twins. You promise, Mamie, that they'll never go to bed hungry? I promise you. I promise you. What's your name again? My name, Dorothy. I promise you. Your boys will never go to bed hungry. You promise? You take good care of them. Yes, I promise you that. And so she gave us to Mamie Brown, my twin brother and I. And went back to Gainesville, Georgia to live her life. And this thing called life, when I spoke out of Florida for the first time in Atlanta, Dorothy Bell Rucker, my birth mother, came to see me. He didn't come up and say, hello, son, I'm glad things turned out well for you.
a niece who she was with said, all she said, Uncle Les, was, "That's my boy." I thought she was agreeing with you, but now I know she was saying, "That's my boy." There are things that's going to happen to you in life that you don't see coming. There are people that you would want to help, and they'll get mad with you when you try and help them. It's called life. There are relationships that you pour into and people that you looked out for and you had their back, and when you need them, they can't be found. They're always there when they need you. And so part of the process of what I'm saying to you, that your dream, it's possible. And it's necessary that you focus on your health. It's necessary that you protect your peace, that you separate and get all the toxic, negative, energy draining people out of your life. I remember reading a book called Who's the Matter with Me? There are a lot of people who are obese because they're not eating right, because they don't exercise, but they're also obese because of what's eating them. See, we have energy, and if you don't use that energy in a positive way, you will unconsciously engage in self-destructive behavior. So it's necessary that you know that your dream is possible, that if anybody at any point in time had a goal and had a dream and made it happen, then you can make yours happen. That's what kept me going. When I would go see Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar and Bob Proctor and Robert Schuller and Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, and there was nobody on that stage who looked like me, I said, one day I'm going to be on that stage. I'll be holding that microphone, motivating and inspiring people. And I'll never forget when I would come home and my brothers and sisters would ask, "Leslie," yes, "have you become successful yet?" "No, but I'm on my way." "Leslie, when you gonna make it? When people gonna start paying you to speak?" "Well, this is my year. It's gonna happen this year." "Leslie, you said that last year." And Mama would say, "Leave him alone. Leave my boy alone." "When will it happen?" "I don't know, but it's going to happen." Your dream is possible. Here's something else. It's necessary that you don't give up. That you have conversations, not just people talking to you, but conversations with yourself, asking, can you tell me any reason why you need to continue on this path? Come on, make it make sense. Nobody's called. You've been volunteering, you speaking in prisons and juvenile detention centers and elementary schools and high schools, and nobody's calling up asking you to speak. Let me share something with you. Life is hard work and hard work. What do you mean? It's hard, H-A-R-D. And you got to have heart. Where your heart is, there your treasure is also. Find something that you love, something that's important to you, something that you don't need an alarm clock to get up in the morning. I don't need an alarm clock to wake up. I wake up early. Why? Because the early bird gets the worm. I get up early, reading and working on myself, making a list of 7 things that I'm grateful for. Lord, I'm still here. I'm 81. I'm still hungry. I'm still working on finishing strong. I know the best is yet to come. I know that I'm here because of your grace and mercy. I know you are giving me the ability and the talents to command my day. I know you're going to open doors I did not see. I thank you for delivering me from the arms of 4th stage cancer. I thank you that I'm still here to serve you. Sometimes you got to talk to yourself. You got to still have that feeling within yourself. It's not a belief. It's a knowing. Corinne Mann, out of Canada, one of my mentees, she's a powerful speaker. She talk about knowingness. See, what is it that keeps you going when you have no evidence, when you had failure after failure after failure? What kept Walt Disney going when he filed bankruptcy 7 times and had 2 nervous breakdowns? What was it that kept Walter P. Chrysler going when he fell in the automobile industry 49 times? What kept Colonel Sanders going when he got a social security check and say, we can't live off this, baby? And he got his chicken batter and some chickens and put in the trunk of the car and went from restaurant to restaurant. And the way he fed himself, when he ran out of money, he'd go into a restaurant and say, my chicken tastes better than your chicken. And they said, no, it doesn't. I said, well, let me taste it. And that's how he fed himself. And then he asked him, let me bake some of my chicken with my special recipe. Got rejected over 500 times, but he kept going until he found a yes. You don't have the money, so what? You don't have the education, so what? You don't have the contacts, so what? You don't have it yet. There's somebody waiting to help you with your dream. I remember when I was pursuing my dream, and in the meantime, sometimes you have to have a job, sometimes you have to do something else. I was selling the Dick Gregory Bahamian diet. Come on, somebody. Somebody, let me see some flames. If anybody remember the Dick Gregory Bahamian diet. And I was in Detroit, and I spoke, and I was selling the Dick Gregory Bahamian diet. I just thought about that. And a guy there named Bud, an orthodontist, Bud McKinley. And he said afterwards, can I have a word with you, young man? I said, yes, sir. He said, do you have a business plan for what you're going to do in this industry? I said, no. He said, how are you going to do it? You said that you're going to be known nationally, and you spoke and you were very inspiring. He said, you made me laugh. My mother died recently. I haven't laughed this hard since my mother died. Where are you going when you leave here? I'm going down to the YMCA. Oh, you can come and come home with me and my fiance, Doris. And I stayed with him in Southfield. Show you how God works. Commit thy works unto thy Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Woke me up at 5 o'clock in the morning, gave me an envelope and said, count it, $95,000. I said, what do you want me to do with this? He said, I want to invest in you. I said, do you want me to sign a contract or something? He said, no. I know you're going to make it, and I know you'll come back and pay me back. I just feel that about you. You're going to make it, young man. I said, oh, wow, man, thank you. I didn't have the experience to have a business plan, to go to a bank and get a loan. I didn't have that. I didn't have credit. I didn't know the business like that, or the going to the SBA, Small Business Administration. I didn't know that. But this man out of nowhere invested $95,000 in a stranger after seeing me one time speak. And I would return in 3 years. I converted that $95,000 to over $1,300,000 and gave him the money back that he gave me. Plus, I wanted to give him an additional $35,000. And he said, no, but I knew you would come back and pay me. I know what I'm talking about. I got the receipts. I'm saying you are enough. What you got, your dream, this passion, your heart, your mind, you are enough to make things happen, to create a new reality for yourself. I know what I'm talking about. I've done this. And I'm saying to you, don't die with your stuff in you. People do it every day. The only reason you're listening to me is because you know I'm right. You know in your heart of hearts. I'm not talking about your mind now. There's a reason we're taught, be ye not conformed to this world. The conformity of thinking like everybody else. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. It's mindset and it's your heart. That's important. You're not through yet. There's more in you. And here's something else. Make yourself do it. I got up this morning. I didn't want to lean against the wall and squat for 2 minutes or do a plank or do the various exercises that I do in my room. I didn't want to do it. Here's what I want you to do. Write this down. Do what you know, not what you feel. The reason that most people fail, they allow themselves to be governed by their feelings. Do what you know. I know when I exercise, I strengthen my immune system and I kick cancer's butt. When I exercise, I strengthen my immune systems. I activate my hormones and my T cells and my mindset. I practice the laws of psychoneuroimmunology, how the mindset infects your body, your immune system, and your nervous system. I mean business. I command my day. Thank you, Lord. Lord, whatever I face today, together you and I can handle it. On this day, it will be the best day of the rest of my life. Thank you for ordering my steps. Thank you for giving me great ideas. Thank you for bringing the right people in my life. Thank you for elevating my thinking above the noise of the world and still love and still believe. And still standing in faith and knowingness that things are going to work out. You got to talk to yourself affirmatively and let the past stay in the past. Think about, you are here. God had a lot of choices, but you are here. You are chosen. And when you think about it, that life is God's gift to us and how we live our lives, it's our gift to God. I want you to like this page and share it. You know somebody that can use a word or that's positive. I want you to like this page and share it, because my goal is to build a community of people who have goals and dream and a knowingness that they are meant for more. They are meant for more. They want to live a different kind of life. That they've said, you know, when people change, when they get to the point where they say, I've had it. A friend of mine, she was working this job and she had a supervisor that was very rude. And one day he decided before the whole staff to just verbally abuse her and talk down to her and condemn her and cast aspersions on her character. It was very ugly, and there were people who said, don't do that to her. Don't say that to her. Please, sir. And she stood there and she looked at him. And she said, no. Let him go ahead. And he continued to ridicule her. And she asked, are you through? And he said, yes. Now get back to work. She said, no. She came up to him. She shook his hand. She said, thank you. He said, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. And she turned and started getting all the things that she had out of her desk. And she left there and started a new life for herself. See, Marion White said, in life, when you don't have enough courage or insight to know that you have outgrown a situation and it's time to move on you, life will move on you. When you don't have enough courage or insight to know you've outgrown a situation and it's time to move on, you don't do that, life would put a mean-spirited, nasty, ugly, abusive person in your life to make you leave or stay there until it becomes your normal. And she knew that she had outgrown that place and she deserved better than that. I'll tell you another one. I spoke at Christ Universal Temple Church in Chicago. Dr. Johnny Coleman was the founder and was my spiritual mentor. And I talked about living full and dying empty. And I gave a speech about, can these bones live? Rise, bones, rise. Oh, you got to get this. I got to get this for you. I was cooking up in here, all right? And a lady who was in the balcony, this is the value of finding your voice and speaking and using your voice and your story, your lived experiences to help other people liberate themselves. A lady in the balcony that I did not know, never met. She heard the speech that I gave, and she said that speech was for her. She left the church and went straight to O'Hare Airport and flew to California to some relatives, left her husband and her 3 children who were driving her crazy. And they did not see her until her husband's mother died, and she came back for the funeral like 6 years later. And they asked her, why did you leave like that? She said, y'all were driving me crazy. I decided to do something for me. How many of you know your children can drive you crazy if you let them? How many of you know that you can be in a toxic, negative relationship? And statistics prove this, that if you're around a toxic, negative person, it can compromise your immune system and create cancer in your body. That's why a book I read called Who's the Matter with Me? Not what's the matter with me, who's the matter with me? And there's some of you that you need to just get up and go to a new land, like Abraham. I had to leave Miami. This Les Brown could not have survived in Miami. I had to leave because it wasn't good for me. You have a rightful place. There's a place that's your rightful place that resonates with you. That's your place. There's a company, there's a business, there's a mission, a product, a movement that's got your name on it. Don't die an unlived life. Lady was diagnosed with terminal breast cancer. And the doctor told her to get her life in order. And she went home. She fixed herself some coffee. She sat at the table. She was in the house by herself. Took a sip of the coffee and took the cup and threw it up against the wall. Broke the cup up against the wall. And she said with conviction, I refuse to die an unlived life. She'd given her life to her marriage. She'd given her life to her children. And she forgot to live. She sacrificed. Women are taught and groomed to sacrifice their own personal needs, wants, and desires. And she said, I refuse to die an unlived life, and left and began to live life on her terms. And she's still here. There's a reason we're taught, be of good courage. Maya Angelou said to me, I spent a day with her, one of the most blessed days in my life. Mr. Brown, nothing is done without courage. See, what I'm saying to you right now, it takes courage. And courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the willingness to live life on your terms in spite of the fear. That you don't want to take your talents, your abilities, your dreams, your potential, and your greatness to the cemetery. Many a flower has bloomed unceasingly and wasted sweetness upon the cold desert air. Many a talented and gifted persons have gone unnoticed. I can't tell you the number of people that I knew that had talents, abilities, and skills, and they took it to the cemetery. And that's why you have to be hungry. Why? Because the hungry dog gets the bone. When you're hungry, you are relentless. When you're hungry, you are unstoppable. When you're hungry, you have a fierceness about life. When you're hungry, you refuse to be denied. When you're hungry, no excuse is acceptable. When you're hungry, you're willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. Most people are not hungry. I talked with someone yesterday. They will not hear my voice again in this life unless it's on the internet. I will not accept any more calls. You got to start blocking yourself from people who, one, I don't answer a call unless it's purposeful, unless it's productive, unless it's profitable, unless it's a call that we can explore some possibilities. I don't have time. No, I'm not taking time to have conversations that's not going anywhere. What you up to? Oh, nothing. Just trying to make it. I'm disappointed that LeBron didn't make it. I wonder if they're going to fire his son after he's gone. You can't afford a ticket. You talking about LeBron and Bronny. Are you kidding me? Listen, you're listening to me now because you know, not you don't believe, you know ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. You know what I'm saying. It's going to liberate you. There's a breakthrough. There's an interruption in the story that you believe about yourself. It's being dismantled now. And I'm talking to that other part of you. I'm talking about the next greatest version of you. I'm talking about the divine nature of who you are. I'm talking about that part of yourself that you feel in your heart, that part of yourself when you wake up in the middle of the night. A friend of mine named Kim Jacob, she said, millionaires are made after midnight. There are nights when I wake up and I can't go back to sleep. And I'm thinking, Lord, what do you want me to do now? I need you to guide me. I need you to help me get through this. Tell me what to do. Sometimes life can knock you senseless and you don't know where to turn, what to do. What do you do when your prayers aren't answered? I say, keep on praying, keep on moving, and continue to stand on your faith. I remember Shadrach, Meshach, and a bad Negro. Come on, let don't behave. Nebuchadnezzar, our God can deliver us from thine hands, but if he does not, we still won't bow. And there are some of you listening to me right now that you've been rejected, you've failed, you've had all kinds of things happen, car repossessed, gone through foreclosure, lost your business, went through divorce, but you've said something to yourself, I still won't bow. I'm going to make it through this. I'm determined this too shall pass. When God made me, he did not make a punk. No. You've got greatness in you. That's why you're listening to me. You've got to be out of your mind to listen to me. You've got to be a little crazy. Let that mind be in you. If another mind got to be in you, you got to have the mind that you have right now to vacate. You have to have a different kind of mindset. And there's something in you as I speak, you can feel it. You know it's right. You know this is your time. And when I do these, I feel better. If you get 10% of what I'm getting out there, when I finish this call today, I got some things I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna at least get. I'm gonna do some stuff today. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm gonna make some stuff happen today. You got to have those moments with yourself. You ever take time to talk to yourself? What's up with this? I had to talk to myself. And I remember when they said that my PSA, which stands for prostate-specific antigen, was 2,400. I said, what did you say, Dr. Golson? Your PSA, what does it stand for? Prostate-specific antigen. And you said, what is 2,400? What is the normal? 1 to 4. Wow. I smile. Why are you smiling? I say, PSA, you said prostate-specific antigen? Yes. I say, PSA to me stands for positively staying alive. I ain't going nowhere, no. And I know no radical prostatectomy, no. Take one of my knees, one of my ankles. No, I ain't doing none of that. No. And I'm still here. Come on, somebody. You got to be defiant in this thing called life. This is no place for wimps. The people that are controlling things now, controlling the media, controlling the politics, they are serious. Just imagine the person who created Project 25 have a PhD in Black history. Whoa! Getting a PhD in Black history to learn how to destroy a culture. Just think about that. We have to be very deliberate and serious about life. We have children. We've got to fight for our children and our children's children. And when my great-grandchildren were here, Papa, yes? Are you ready to eat? No, I'm fine. Oh, my goodness. If what I'm saying resonates with you, let me share something with you. We have a magazine. I'm building a community of people, like-minded people, a greatness community. Your superpower is your ability to speak. I have a magazine, a digital magazine. I want you to go now and tell family members and friends, go and get this magazine. Go to hungrytospeak.com. hungrytospeak.com. And this is going to teach you how to present yourself. This is going to teach you how to develop your story, how to help people see themselves in your story, create an experience with your story that can change lives. And we teach you techniques and strategies and how to monetize your story, how to, when you develop your communication skills, that you're able to create a minimum of 5 buckets of income. Put speak in your message box. Go to hungrytospeak.com. John Leslie, I want to ask you a question. Come up for a minute, please. What does that mean? Put speech in your message box.
For those certain platforms, they will get the link automatically if they put speak in their message box. So it's an automation.
You in this automation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very important to have people around you that know things that you don't know. Mm-hmm. And I'm very blessed to have my son, John Leslie, who he knows this technology. He studies it. That which brought me here, my ability to speak and to change lives. I'm staying in my lane. I know how to speak and motivate people. I know how to bring out your gift and teach you how to tell your story and how to transform an audience individually and collectively. And my son knows how to automate and market your talents, abilities, and skills, and automate and market and monetize your dream and your business. That's what he does. That's his lane. Now, I know he wants to come for me as a speaker, but he better bring some new boots, buddy, because at 81, I can still run. Come on, somebody. Well,
let me tell you something. I don't know what's going on with you today, but today you are cooking, not cooking. Okay, you are cooking, as they are saying in the comments section.
What are people saying?
You are
What are the comments that people have? What are they saying?
Okay, let's look at this. One of them said, "Let's always cooking." So let me see. Let me find this really quickly. And
hello, Debbie Garcia.
Hello. All right, let's go. This it says right here. This is absolutely Miss Jamie Bullock. Absolutely, I always want to be the dumbest in every room I walk into. She was talking about that
because
being
she wanted to be a sponge and take stuff in. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
What are the other comments that people are saying about what I'm sharing in terms of it's possible, taking care of your health, protecting your peace, staying away from toxic, negative people, separating yourself? Sometimes you might have to get up and go to another state, another country. You just don't know where God is going to lead you.
Very true. MJ Jackson said, "It's the truth. He's on fire." That man's cooking, smoking, soaring, slam dunking, all of it. Jamie Bullock.
Very good. Thank you so much. Okay, bring me up full screen. I got some more.
Okay. All right.
Let me share something with you. When I think about the path here and people that I see and watch, I cannot emphasize more the value of focus, of being disciplined, being deliberate, and dedicating yourself to living a life that's you. Because it's so easy to get distracted now. All of us are victims of weapons of mass distractions. So easy. Every day there's something in the news. Every day there's something that's going on that we can't do anything about. I decided not to watch the news. I decided not to give it space in my mind. And let me share something with you. I feel so much better. I was looking at the news one day and I put on my blood pressure cup and my blood pressure was going up. I said, whoa, this is not healthy. Well, don't you need to know what's going on? No. I need to know what's going on in my life and with the people that I care about. But I don't need to take in that stuff. People say garbage in, garbage out. No, garbage in, garbage stays, and it stinks, and it creates brain rot. And so when you think about the time when we had family members and friends that we wanted to call, we had a memory. Now, I know only 3 phone numbers. So I decided, in the event of an emergency, that I need to memorize some numbers. I was on a plane and they had an emergency landing because I had internal bleeding. And they said, can you give us someone you can call for this emergency to let them know we're transporting you to the hospital? I never forget when they landed in New Jersey and the emergency crew came on. And there was one guy who was one brother, and he looked at me. He said, oh my God, I know you, mister. You that positive guy. I got this job because of you. He said, pick him up gently and be careful with him. He's a very important guy. Whoa, this security person, this emergency person, who would have thought? Coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. Of all the emergency personnel to send to host that airplane when it made an emergency landing, they only make emergency landing if you are dead or dying. And they told the pilot initially, hey, just strap him in a chair and they can host him and pick him up, have an ambulance in Detroit. And a doctor who was on flight said, this man, if you don't land the plane now, when he goes to Detroit, you need to have the morgue. He will not be alive. He'll bleed to death. So glad a doctor was on board. I don't know who a guy was. I held his ankle the whole time. I'm on the floor, passed out, but I held his ankle. Life happens. Just like that. Just like that. One telephone call can change your life. And that's why we have to be intentional about living life. Raise your energy. We have to be intentional and deliberate to living with power, feeling, and conviction, and maximizing our time while we're here, and living each day as if it were your last. Because one day it will be. And when you live like that intentionally, you want to max out. You want to give your best at all times and under all circumstances. George Washington Carver, come forth, sir. He said, do what you can where you are with what you have and never be satisfied. And so this life that you want to live, you're going to lose some family members and friends. There are a lot of people who are going to have issue with this new emerging personality and this new dimension of who you are, that you've decided to live your life from dominion. You've decided to come out from among the crowd and not to live a small life, not to be a volunteer victim. There's something in you that says, I know I'm meant for more, and I'm willing to do what it takes to get it. And it's challenging. It's possible. It's necessary that you be disciplined. Socrates said an undisciplined life is an insane life. It's you. George Bernard Shaw said the people that make in this life, they look around for the circumstances that they want, and if they can't find it, they create it. And it's hard. If you do what is easy, follow the crowd. If you do what is easy, go to sleep on life. If you do what is easy, come up with excuses, and while you're going to stay in your comfort zone, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, discipline yourself. If you do what is hard, do what you know, not what you feel. If you do what is hard, learn to elevate your thinking, learn some new skills, develop some new friends, learn something today that you did not know yesterday. Your life will be easy. I know what I'm talking about. Make it a point to know something today. Learn something today that you didn't know yesterday. Your life will change. I remember hearing Brian Tracy, the average American reads one book a year. I said, wait a minute. If you decide to read one book a month in 5 years, when the average American person would have read just in 5 years, 5 books, you would have read 60 books. That makes you an expert. That's why I know so many quotes. I took him seriously. I disciplined myself to read 3 books a month. Start reading 30 to 40 pages a day. And so this is the time that we have to learn continuously. This is the time that we have to elevate and rise above the noise and focus on the things that matter and the things that we can do something about. A lot of stuff that we get caught up in, all we can do is just look at it and say, oh, ain't that awful? There's so many things that are competing for our attention. People go to dinner with friends and they spend time on the telephone until food is served. Can't have conversations. The number one cause of death now in the United States is loneliness. So if what I've been saying resonates with you, let me see some flames or some thumbs up. So let a brother know that you feel me, as the young folks say. Do you feel me? I want to know, if what I'm saying makes sense. I want you to go to hungrytospeak.com. We have a challenge going where you can give us a 1-minute speech, your story, and we will post it. We'll post it because I'm looking for people who want to use their voice, people who want to use their story, people who want to make a greater impact, people who have would like me. I didn't do this for 14 years because I didn't have the courage to bet on me. And then I said, man, I don't know how to do what you're talking about, Brownie. All of us are born the same way. What do you mean by that? Dumb, naked, and speechless. You can learn. Why do you think you go to all these seminars and things? Why do you think you read all these books that you read and what you listen to all the time? That's you. That's you. Why do you think people come to you and don't even know you and tell you their story, tell you what they're going through? Why do you think people come up to you and say, you changed my life? That advice you gave me, thank you. It's you, man. Be you. And so there's some of you that's watching me right now. I'm living your dream. There's some of you right now that say, wait a minute, it's just a few. This is not for the masses. This is just a few. The road to life is straight and narrow, and few that be that find it. I'm talking to the few that know in their hearts, no, this just can't be it for me. In your job, in your business, in your personal life, in your marriage, in this thing called life, period. You like the prodigal son who came to himself. You had a change of identity. I have a friend named Dwight, and he was doing crack cocaine for years, but he came to himself. He said, I'm not doing this anymore. And I remember there are two types of drug addicts. There are people who seek drugs and people who are prescribed drugs. Here's something personal with you. So after being in the hospital, unconscious for several days, I fell ill. My son Patrick came to pick me up from the airport. He's coming to Columbus to take me to my youngest daughter's house, his baby sister. I saw all these cars. I said, is there a party going on? He said, no. I said, what's going on? Why are all these cars here? He said, Dad, you'll see when you get in. Can't believe I'm sharing this with you. What? I just want to be real. So I came in the house and I saw my mentor, Mike Williams. He wrote the book, The Road to Your Best Stuff. All my children were there. And this white couple was there. I said, hey, is this an intervention? He said, yes. That's good. I'm the intervention king. It's an intervention for you. What are you talking about? Dad, we've been watching you. You be up all time of night. You're hype all the time. We've been watching you. You're addicted to drugs. What are you talking about? All the pain killers they gave you? And now you're finding pills yourself. You get things from pharmacists because you're Les Brown. These people here from the Darryl Strawberry drug program. We're going to have you go there for 6 months to get clean. Are you out of your mind? I went to each one of my children. Do you think I taught y'all not to do drugs, not to drink, not to smoke? Do you think I would be stupid enough to do that? Dad, you taught us you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. We know what we're talking about. I asked my mentor, Mike Williams, Mike, what do you say? Ronnie, I'm with the family. The couple said, we'll come pick you up in the morning. I said, no, you got to take me tonight. If you come in the morning, I'm not going to be here. And they took me. Took several hours to get there. One of the most humiliating experiences I ever went through in my life. You had to strip down. You search everything. And the next day, you had to stand up and people had to introduce themselves. You're supposed to like, hi, I'm Les Brown. I'm a drug addict. I said, hey, I can't do that. I said, this is the way it is. Just admit it. I can't say that. Just give me the treatment, what I need to do. You want to take Suboxone? No. It's a drug that will help you get off drugs. No. I walked out, went into the director's office. I said, listen, I was prescribed drugs. This addiction was prescribed to me. I said, every junkie has a story. I grabbed the telephone on his desk. I said, you call me a junkie, I'll bust this damn phone on your head. And the lady was there. She said, Mr. Brown, don't do that. We have to call the police on you. So I took the phone and I called my son. I said, Patrick, come get me. I said, Dad, aren't you going to stay in the program? No. What are you going to do? I'll go cold turkey. I can't teach people how to take charge of their lives. And I'm a punk and I can't do it myself. No. I'll go cold turkey. I don't need them. I'm not going to stand up and say I'm a drug addict. I'm not. He came and got me. I'll get all the way to Columbus. And it took me, I went through hell, gagging and vomiting, having hot flashes. One day I saw a kangaroo run through the living room, hallucinate. But I beat it. I did it. I prayed. I know the night that happened, I said, Mama, I'm calling both of you, Mamie Brown and Dorothy Bell. Dorothy Bell, you gave birth to me. I never asked you for anything. Never have I asked you for anything, even in prayer. I've never seen your face. Help me get through this. Mama, you loved me and Wesley. You always prayed for me. I would stay up late and I would get a beating knowing when I came home when the lights went down. But you said you didn't want to beat me, but you knew I needed it. I need you to help me beat this. I need the two of you to talk to God, to give me the strength to get through this. Let me tell you something. Prayer works. You come from your heart, you give it everything in, you lock in. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. And the next day, I was free. No more gagging. No more craving. I was free. I thank God. And I thank both my mothers. I said, thank y'all. I'm so glad y'all came together. And I wondered, did Mamie Brown bake a sweet potato pie for my mother, Dorothy Bell Rucker? I'm sure she did. And I know they're watching me now and watching my brother. I'm in this place where they ask Mama, Mamie Brown, how'd you know you can raise children and you never had none? And she said, I just felt the Lord will make a way somehow. We're not in this thing called life by ourselves. How do I know that I'm going to build a community of greatness, that people are going to go to hungrytospeak.com to get our magazine and to be a part of a community of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships? How do I know that there are people that are going to respond, who've got a voice, who've got a story they want to tell, who have a desire, a hunger to make a difference in life and to live a life that will outlive them? How do I know there are people who've swallowed their voice, people who are nervous about standing before a crowd, people who've decided, I wish I could, but I can't? How do I know that they can hear me? I believe the Lord will make a way somehow. So I'm looking forward to working with you Monday through Friday from 12 noon until I get through. I don't know when I'm going to sound, but I want you to resonate with what I'm going to say to you. That some people have given up hope. They said this suicide.
This ain't a song, this is a lifeline.
I want you to listen to this.
Les Brown talking to the ache in your chest. Breathe, stay with me. He said, Mr. Brown, I'm tired. I don't want to live no more. Pain sitting heavy like a stone on the floor. They said, hold up, hear me clear, my friend. You don't want to die, you just want the pain to end. Life is a gift, breathe straight from God's hand. You ain't an accident, you're part of the plan. Out of 400 million, you got the call. There's something in you this world needs after all. Don't spit in the face of grace when you're hurt. Don't call God mistaken, cause the pressure is worse. How you live through the fire, how you carry the load that you give back to God on this hard, holy road.
Wait until tomorrow.
Wait,
just wait until tomorrow.
Hold on. You don't wanna die, you wanna heal. This pain ain't permanent, this moment ain't real. Life is the gift and your living's the praise. Turn the pain into purpose, just don't quit today. Yeah. Let's say I know the garden Gethsemane nights when you beg heaven for answers, no sleep, no light. We all been broken, anxious, overwhelmed, asking why me, God, feeling lost in ourselves. But ask for help, not cause you're weak, but cause you're strong enough to reach. Don't stop knocking till the door opens wide. You ain't meant to carry this alone inside. So let me tell you about Shirley on the line. Voice cracked, defeated, said she was done trying. Double mastectomy, husband walked away. She said, I don't want to live another day. I didn't preach, I didn't beg. I said, wait till tomorrow, that's all I said. Meet me at the nursing home, 11 sharp. Just come with me, just one more spark. She didn't want to be around, but that's true. But she already gave me a yes or two. We went to see Audrey laugh, still alive. And nobody said don't die. We just showed her life. Still breathing, still here. Wait until tomorrow. Just wait until tomorrow. Hold on. You were born for such a time as this. This right now, this is a God moment, don't miss. Life is the gift and your living's the praise. Turn the pain into purpose, just don't quit today. You hear me? You don't need all the answers tonight. You just need one more day. Ask for help, keep asking.
Just take your life. Wait until tomorrow. Wait your life. Your life. Wait until tomorrow. Your life. Not better.
Wait until tomorrow. Listen.
John
This
Wesley.
song, this is a lifeline.
John Wesley.
This is Les Brown talking to the ache in your chest.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
I want you to
Raise
stop the
that
music. And I know you said that interview that I did, you said was long. I want you to play it anyhow, so people understand what that song is referencing. Wait until tomorrow. And those who supposed to hear it, they will hear it. And I want those of you that listen to this, that you know somebody that's going through a tough time, struggling with something, I want you to call them, have them listen, or people that you know. And also, when you get the Hungry to Speak magazine, I'm going to download it and you can have it, or we'll give you a link that you can get it. But it's something that I had a moment. And have you had a moment when you were doing something and you tried to help somebody and you didn't know what to say? You didn't know what to say. But God spoke and you heard him. So I want you to listen to this. And I want you to call some other people to listen to this. The suicide rate among our young people has increased. Why? They are listening to what's going on. They're listening to the conversations, to the fear, to the anxiety, to the stress, to the hopelessness. Children, adults, people from all walks of life going through a tough time now. So John Leslie, is it queued up? Turn it up, I can't hear it.
So the next question is a very emotional one. This person said they have been contemplating the thoughts of suicide, but they just need some kind of inspiration to keep living, and they just need to know what to do.
Person said they've been contemplating suicide and they want to know what to do.
Yes.
First of all, I want you to think about what I'm about to say to you. Life is God's gift to you. God gave you life. When you are contemplating suicide, what you're doing with the gift, life is God's gift to us. When somebody gives you a gift and you destroy the gift, you're spitting in the face of God. You said, "Puh." That's not what you want to do. You're going through some stuff. You're in pain now. You don't want to die. You want to stop the pain. You want to destroy the gift that God gave you. How you live your life, how you handle the challenges, how you handle the pain. You turn the pain into purpose.
That's what you do. All of us get tired. All of us have pain. All of us have moments where we feel, I can't deal with this anymore. No. Don't spit in the face of God. Don't say to God, you made a mistake when you chose me out of 400 million sperm. You got something. God saw you out of 400 million sperms. God chose you out of 400 million sperm. There's something in you that God chose you to bring to the planet. You were born and preserved for such a time as this on this date. This is a God moment. I dare you deprive us of what the gift that God put in you. No. No. Life is God's gift to us, and how we live our lives is our gift to God. All of us have our moments in the Garden of Gethsemane. All of us have that moment when we need someone to pray with us. All of us have the moments in our lives where we ask, what is this all about? Why am I here? All of us have suffered from broken hearts and disappointments and moments of anxiety and depression and feeling overwhelmed and saying to ourselves a conversation, I just ought to end it now. No. No. I'm encouraging you. Ask for help. Not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong, just like you're doing now. And ask for help. And don't stop until you get it. I was doing a radio show, and a lady named Shirley called me, and I knew it was in Columbus, Ohio, WVKO radio station. My show was called Yes We Can and Yes We Will by Les Brown. And I heard this defeated sound in Shirley's voice. And she said, I don't want to live anymore. Shirley had had a double mastectomy, and her husband left her, and she lost her children. And so I was talking to her, and she just called to say bye. Now, this is live radio. This, you couldn't delete. This is live radio. And I'm thinking, God, what can I say to Shirley that will help her hold on and want to live? I said, Shirley, breasts don't make a woman. Because he doesn't want you anymore because you don't have breasts. That's him. There's some man out there that will welcome you with open arms. And I was talking, and that did not come through. And I said, may I ask you a question, please? I got a big ask of you. And I want you to say yes before I ask the question. She said, are you going to ask me not to commit suicide? I said, no, I'm not going to ask you not to commit suicide. But I'm going to ask you something, and I just want you to say yes before I ask you. I'm going to ask you two things, and I need you to say yes before I ask you to two things. She said, okay, well, as long as you're not going to try, Les Brown, Mr. Motivator, to talk me out of what I'm going to do, okay, all right, I'll do it. You're going to honor your word to me. Yes, I will, Les. I will. Okay, very good. First question, what is it? Will you wait until tomorrow? She paused. She asked me, "What'd you say?" I said, "You said you're going to kill yourself. I didn't try and convince you not to do it. I just asked you, will you wait until tomorrow?" She said, "Okay, yes. Here's the next thing. I want you to meet me at Alum Creek Nursing Home on Nelson Road tomorrow after I get off my broadcast. Meet me there at 11 o'clock. And I promise you, I'm not going to try and talk you out of committing suicide, Shirley. I give you my word. I don't want you to do it, but I'm reluctantly honoring what you want to do now." She said, "Why do you want me to meet you there?" I said, "You remember me talking to Audrey Pelmore on the air?" She said, "Yeah." Oh boy, she's so funny. She said, "Yes." I said, "I want you to go with me to visit her." She said, "I don't want to be around anybody." I understand that, but you already promised me that you would say, "I will go," because I already got from you advance yeses, 2. That's all I asked. And neither one of them said, "Don't kill yourself." She said, "Okay." And sure enough, when I pulled up in the parking lot, she was there early. I went and opened the car door for her. I hugged her. I said, "Let's go inside." I went in. "Hi, I'm Les Brown." "We know who you are. I'm here to see Audrey Pelmore." And so she listens to you every morning. She's down the hall on the right. She's very inspiring, as you know. I said, "Yes." I used to talk with Audrey on the air, interview her. And as I grabbed Shirley's hand and we were walking down the hall, I'd never seen Audrey before, but that just dropped in my spirit. Because Audrey, she suffered from muscular sclerosis. Audrey went through a divorce. She lost her children. Audrey was a nurse that everyone loved. She had such a vibrant, energetic personality. And I didn't know what to expect when I got to the hallway down to the end and I came in the door. I looked and I saw her in this bed. And as we got closer, she was just, her head was to one side looking out of the window. And I said, "Audrey, this is Les Brown." And she said, "Les Brown?" I said, "Yes." She turned and she looked at me. "You came to see me?" I said, "Yes." "Oh, I hear you on the radio every morning. You came to see me." "Yes, Audrey, and I have a friend here. Her name is Shirley." Oh, thank you. Hello, Miss Shirley." "Audrey, how you doing, baby?" And through her tears, Audrey said, "I'm doing better than good and better than most. They put drops on my eyes so I can blink my eyes. Mr. Brown, I'm doing better than good and better than most. The Lord is blessing me." And Shirley, I could see her out of my peripheral vision. She began to cry, both of us. I put my arms around her and she was trembling. And I know she had to be thinking, this woman who can't fan a fly out of her face, this woman who can't get up and go to the bathroom, this woman that somebody has to bathe her, this woman, her husband left her, they took her children from her because she could no longer take care of them, this woman who used to take care of people and now she's bedridden, and you ask her how she's doing, this woman who can't blink her eyes without some drops in them can look up at a stranger and say, I'm doing better than good and better than most. I know she said to herself as she put her head on my shoulder, what right do I have to take my life? If she could have that kind of strength, if she could have that kind of faith, what right? What right? And she just beat my chest and said, Leslie Brown, why did you bring me here? You know, after seeing her, I can't do it. I said, no, God has some work for you. She said, yes. I'm sure there are other women who have been in my situation and didn't want to live. I'm going to help her. I'm going to help them. Oh boy, that just came to me. That was over 40 years ago, and to this day she's known for helping women who've had double mastectomies, and she's done fundraisers to help them to get the artificial breast, and she has become an encourager and motivator of women who have gone through breast surgery, and now she has turned for 40 years her pain into purpose.
This ain't a song, this is a lifeline. This is Les Brown talking to the ache in your chest. Breathe, stay with me. He said, Mr. Brown,
whoever you are,
I don't want to live no more.
I hope what I've shared with
like a stone
you just brought it back to memory.
They said, hold up,
that it's been of some value.
My friend, you don't want to die, you just want the pain to end. Life is a gift, breathe straight from God's hand. You ain't an accident, you're part of the plan. Out of 400 million, you got the call. There's something in you this world needs after all. Don't spit in the face of grace when you're hurt. Don't call God mistaken, cause the pressure is worse.
How you live through the fire,
how you carry the load that you give back to God on this hard, holy road.
Wait until tomorrow.
Wait,
just wait until tomorrow.
Hold on. You don't wanna die, you wanna heal. This pain ain't permanent, this moment ain't real. Life is the gift and your living's the praise. Turn the pain into purpose, just don't quit today. Yeah. Let's say I know the garden Gethsemane nights when you beg heaven for answers, no sleep, no light. We all been broken, anxious, overwhelmed, asking why me, God, feeling lost in ourselves. But ask for help, not cause you're weak, but cause you're strong enough to reach. Don't stop knocking till the door opens wide. You ain't meant to carry this alone inside. So let me tell you about Shirley on the line. Voice cracked, defeated, said she was done trying. Double mastectomy, husband walked away. She said, I don't want to live another day. I didn't preach, I didn't beg. I said, wait till tomorrow, that's all I said. Meet me at the nursing home, 11 sharp. Just come with me, just one more spark. She didn't want to be around, but that's true. But she already gave me a yes or two. We went to see Audrey laugh, still alive. And nobody said don't die. We just showed her life. Still breathing, still here. Wait until tomorrow. Just wait until tomorrow. Hold on. You were born for such a time as this. This right now, this is a God moment, don't miss. Life is a gift and your living's the praise. Turn the pain into purpose, just don't quit today. You hear me? You don't need all the answers tonight. You just need one more day. Ask for help, keep asking.
Just take your life. Wait until tomorrow. Wait your life. Your life. Wait until tomorrow. Your life. Not better.
Wait until tomorrow. Listen.
Okay, John Leslie.
This is Les Brown talk.
Okay, I want to get some feedback from y'all. John Leslie told me not to play this. It's 18 minutes long, and people would tune out. But I believe that the ones who want to see it got some value out of it. What I have is not for everybody, truly not for the masses. It's for the few. And so I'd like to have some feedback. Let me see some flames, some hearts, or something to indicate that you listen and you got some value out of it. If we had 10 people that watched it and decided that they're going to send it to somebody, because sometimes people need to hear another voice. Hello, Georgianne. How are you? They need to hear another voice. Sometimes they can't hear it from the people that they know and that they're close to. Thank you, Lori. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it as well. And we created a special song for that. And Tangela, she really did a great job on that. I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Tammy. This is a time that we believe that having programming that people can identify with, you feel me, Carla, and that they can relate to, that it can help to elevate people to rise above the noise of the world and be about the business of living life on their terms. And if that's you, I want to see some flames, some thumbs up, but also I want to talk about different strategies of speaking. I want to share something with you, but I want you to like this page and share it. Anybody you know that want to learn different ways in which they can use their communication skills, I want you to go to hungrytospeak.com. And there's a magazine that we have. This is the cover of the magazine. And we upgrade with various videos giving you techniques and strategies on how to speak with confidence and how to read an audience and be able to craft a message that can transform an audience individually and collectively, how to use humor and statistics.
You have something special. You have greatness within you.
Yeah, listen, I can hear
I
that.
want to ask you a question.
Keep the volume down. It's digital and there's content there. Okay. Now, so John Leslie, take that down and bring me up full screen. I want to introduce what I'm waiting on. So I want you to go to thehungrytospeak.com and I want you to participate in this 60-second challenge. What are you talking about, Les? What I'm talking about is we're asking people, and we have many people from all around the world to respond, a 60-second message that you have. that represents you. We don't need the steak. We just need the sizzle. A 60-second statement. Hi, my name is Les Brown. As you look at yourself and look at your goals and dreams, here's something I have learned about this thing called life. That you're going to have some challenges. And what's very important is having a purpose, have something that gives your life meaning. I decided at a very young age, I was going to buy my mother a home. I'm adopted, and that gave my life meaning and purpose. And that set the course for the person that I am right now. Find something in your life that gives your life meaning and purpose and go for it. It's less than 1 minute. So we want something like that. I want you to join the challenge. It's going to be exciting because we're going to select 7 people out of the challenge who have the most impactful presentation that's going to share the stage with me. Now, here's something else I want to share with you. There are different techniques and strategies how to command a large crowd. If you go online and put in "It's Not Over Till You Win," Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome, you see me commanding a large crowd of 80,000 people. Now, I'm going to share with you now how to take everyday experiences and create humor with those everyday experiences. And so this is a presentation I gave at West Angeles Church in LA, Bishop Charles Blake. And it's just a segment of the presentation of something that I went through. I don't want to preempt it, but I want you to see it and give me some feedback. I want you to like this page and share it. Have other people, they're going to get a good laugh out of this. But I want to show you how you can use humor in a very strategic way to connect with an audience, because the audience is asking, who are you? What do you have? Why should I care? And they want to be able to relate to you, to be able to feel a connection with you, and to identify with you. Okay, John Leslie, play it. John Leslie, you know I'm about to lose my mind. Rewind it and start it from the beginning and get it straight, please. Get the volume straight, because I can't hear it. John Leslie, I can't hear it. They can't hear anything. Stop the video. Bring me up full screen, please. I do apologize for the technical difficulties we have. I'll be back next week. I assure you, we will not have these problems next week. It's called life. The things happen when you least expect them. But we're not going to let that rob us of the special moment that we had, a segment that we focus on giving people hope. Sometimes you have to distract them from what they're dealing with when you can't be heard by them. That's why I had to strategically ask Shirley, can you wait until tomorrow? I'd like for some of you to share some thoughts. Could you relate to, have you ever been in a situation where you were on the edge and thinking about self-destruction, or someone that you know and that you wanted to be able to help, or you didn't do it? I mean, I had a friend who committed suicide, and I wondered, what is it that I could have said that I could have helped him? And I didn't see it coming. If what I'm saying to you makes sense, there's a lot of stuff in the media, but it's not enough stuff giving us the tools of how we can help each other and how we can help ourselves. It's amazing that so many churches online featuring people dancing and shouting, as opposed to featuring messages that can give people mental health. This is the time that people need some tools. on how to practice the principles of emotional regulation, how to maintain a stable mindset in the storms of life. What do you do when you get laid off and you're in the 50s and 60s and you gave your best years to a company, and then they just decide arbitrarily we're going in another direction, or your job has been replaced, or we have eliminated that department? We need to have inspirational messages and actionable steps on how to rebuild your life, how to start all over again. If I'm making sense, I want some of you to put up some flames or some thumbs up if what I'm saying making sense. We're inundated with a lot of stuff every day that can't take us anywhere. We need things now that can give us hope, and there's hope in the future that gives you power in the present. We need things now that the millions of people who don't have health care, hospitals and health facilities are being eliminated, budgets are cut. This is a different space. And I think that building communities of like-minded people who can help each other, encourage each other, have skills, knowledge, and resources, that we can build communities of greatness that help people to not just find a job, but to create another job off their knowledge, their skills, create strategic partnerships. Partnerships is the new currency. I'm looking for some people who have some knowledge and skills in technology, people who want to partner up and be able to make a greater impact. It's very important today that we be on a talent hunt with people who have talents and skills and knowledge that we don't have. John Leslie, we had 6 minutes. What is it you'd like to ask me?
Yes, sir. We've got 6 minutes, and
Catch you on the blind side can hit you so many times you can't think straight. How many know what I'm talking about? That you can't even pray. You need somebody to pray for you and lay hands on you. I remember listening to the radio, and ordinarily I'd have changed the channel, and I hear stuff like this. If you are suffering from any kind of incurable disease, please call this number right now and order your miracle prayer cloth. I was about to change the channel, and a lady said, I had whiplash, and I bought the prayer cloth, and I was healed in the name of Jesus. I said, listen to this foolishness. I'm about to hit the channel, and the guy said, I had prostate cancer. I said, wait a minute. My PSA was 2,000, and I got that prayer cloth. I went at home, and I put it on my body, and I was healed in the name of Jesus. This prayer cloth only $3. I sent the man $100 and said, send me a prayer blanket. Here I am in church saying we are more than conquerors. Judge not according to appearances. Greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. And the man looked at me and said, you have cancer, and I'm buying prayer cloths. And when it came, they had a lot of little prayer cloths all cut up, and they said, put them in they gave you instructions, put it in the affected area. So I stuffed them in my underwear. God is my witness. I'm on stage giving a speech in Detroit. And I'm walking back and said, you got to be hungry when you're working on your dream. You've got to be unstoppable. You've got to go after your stuff. And people were laughing and looking behind me. And I looked back, and the prayer cloth had came down my pants. I started picking them up. I said, you can laugh if you want to. I'm going to get these prayer cloths. I don't care nothing about y'all laughing. I'm healed in the name of Jesus. Now I'm cancer-free, I'm debt-free, and drama-free.
Bring me up, John Leslie. catch you on the blind side, can hit you. You know, I thought I was going to see y'all next week. No, I'm not going to come back until I get a whole new system and set this kind of stuff. It's just too much. It's just too much. Well, anyhow, y'all, if you got some laughter, if you got some value out of today, I read your comments. So share your comments so I can see them to help me calm down. You have something special. You have greatness in you. I was going to talk to you about how to make some everyday experiences comical, but I don't feel like laughing right now. Bye for now. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you got some value out of it. Thank you. Take care.